WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskey. And today I have something rare. Saillt Moor, a German whiskey, 2013 to 2017 in German oak. Whiskey base 98619, 46% ABV. So in September of 2012, the master distiller Ralph Hauer, in his German distillery, decided to start making whiskey. He wanted to have a single malt, and he decided to use casks out of his own region. So he found a cooper. In Germany, we've often put other spirits and wine in barrels, so we actually have our own cooperage here. And he decided to take wood from his own region, which is called the Pfalz. And the Pfalz is one of the states, the federal states of Germany, and that's why it's called the Pfälzer Eiche, which is the oak from Pfalz. He mixed two casks number 21 and 22. This is the third bottling. Bottling number 1 was from the 2012. Bottling number 2, 2013. Bottling number 3, 2014. Always 3 years. Always about 630 bottles. So the interesting thing is that he actually has a pot still. That's very, very good. And it goes into the barrel at 63.5%, almost like in the States. Now, the angel share over here in Germany is about 3.5% per year. And he has his double distill. So in the first pass, he has a 400-liter pot still. Isn't that cute? Takes about 3.5 hours, and he brings it up to about 28 to 32%. And the second pass, it takes another 3.5 hours. So it takes a half an hour for the heads. For the hearts, it's 1.5 hours, so about 90 minutes. That's about 50 liters. And for the tails, that's the rest. It's about 1.5 hours. So this bottle over here is a 0.7 liter bottle, so a normal bottle size here in Europe, and it's 67 euros, which is about $75. The yearly production is 4,300 liters in a year. I think that's what Jack Daniels and Jim Beam spill a week, to be honest. All right, very, very good. I think I've mentioned most of this. The history of his family operation goes all the way back to 1602. Not many places can actually say that. The barrels have a very long toasting. They're not charred, they're toasted. Okay, the word Saillt is Gaelic, and it means saline, salt, and Moor means large. So it's a large saline, a large salt mine, which is right in the area. So in Bad Dürkenheim is where the distillery is located, and they actually use European oak to manufacture the casks. It's a decent smell. I have a little bit of a nice, let's say, white wine, a little bit of oak, a little bit of cereals, a little bit of alcohol. If I wouldn't know better, I would say, hey, this is like a very, very, very young Auchentoshen, triple distilled from the lowlands. Let's try it. It doesn't taste as good as it smells. So it comes in at a fairly low level. Then it picks up just a little bit because of that light fruity note. Let's call it pears. Let's call it a little bit of like a white grape. A little bit of the cereals, and that alcohol kicks in, and then the wood. It's very young. It's like chewing a little bit on the stick, on the twig, just freshly taken from a tree. Not great. And there's a little bit of that metallic young taste that whiskey sometimes can have if it's not old enough. Now, what I would really, really like to do is to do a comparison. So I did this also in my German video. Maybe you've seen my video about the Coswolds single malt whiskey. It's a brand new whiskey from England, not from Scotland, but from England. It's not from Wales. It's from Penderyn. This is exactly 3 years old as well. And they're doing something very, very similar there in England, just as they're doing in Germany. Now, I'd like to compare the two of them to see exactly how good or how bad the Germans are at making whiskey. So I'll just put this up here. I need to actually add a little bit more here. 46%, the sweet spot, very, very nice. 46%. This costs about $55, let's say that, maybe $60 over here. This is around $70, $75. So this is a little bit cheaper, a little bit more mass produced, by the way, as well. Much bigger pot stills are used to produce. So on the nose, this of course was 70% red wine cask, 30% ex-bourbon cask. This is 100% German oak cask, virgin oak. So in the nose, this is much better. Although I get a lot of the metallic, a lot of the youngness, a lot of the wood, a little bit of the red wine in here. It's not really my great friend, to be honest. I'm a little disappointed with this bottle. I was expecting much, much more. It starts off just a little bit higher at the beginning, to be very, very honest, but it just goes downhill from there. Oh, that wood and the metallic. It's so young. And then that red wine that just doesn't really, really do it for me either. Oh, we're going to take a drink of water. And that wood just sticks in your mouth. Not my world. And now, the Saillt Pfälzer Eiche, the oak from Pfalz. Much better in the nose. Totally a much better feel. It's smoother, it's softer, it's almost silkier compared to this. But then that wood at the end kicks in, the alcohol kicks in. It just doesn't do it for me. This, if I would do this video in comparison, it's a C-. This is a C+. Very interesting. So the Germans are actually, at least this German distillery, started 2012, is actually have done their homework. They've done everything they should have and could have done. They have the right wood, they have the right materials, they have the right water, they have the right ABV. The only thing that's really, really missing here is time. They have a few barrels from Heaven Hill in the basement, in the cellar, and they filled them up already. And let's imagine a first fill bourbon cask after 8 or 10 or even 12 years. That probably is going to be fantastic. That's what I expect, that's what I hope. But I have to wait another 10 years to have that. All right, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American tasting rare and exotic whiskey over here in Germany. A German distiller, Saillt, the Eiche, or the oak from Pfalz. Not bad, but for the value for money, nope, that's going to get my D-. All right, thank you very much for watching. My question of the day is, what 3-year-old whiskey have you had that is actually recommendable? A 3-year-old whiskey. Not really. Not really. Dingle Small Batch number 1. Exactly 3 years old in one day. That was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, what was your best 3-year-old whiskey? Alright, WhiskyJason here. My videos come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and tell others about my channel. Bye-bye.